Okay, hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to defeat Nelson, the chess.com bot. I think of all the bots out there, this is the one people want to see get it the most, and so we will try to make you happy in this video if you want to see Nelson get what he's got coming to him. I mean, this guy, he's got his own hate pages, he's got his own hate Reddit out there, and the reason is obvious. Okay, Nelson has got the most distinct play style of all the bots. He's the crazy queen attacker, and I mean, if you're watching this video, of course you know that. Now, despite that, actually, once you get used to him, Nelson is not really that good of a bot. He's fearsome if you're not used to the kind of attacks he makes, which is because most people don't make those. But once you get used to him, he's actually pretty easy to defeat, as I think we'll see here. And there are other bots at the same level, I think, play a lot better than he does. Like David, the one from Peru, is a much better player than he is. And even Jade is also another 1300 level bot. I think she's much tougher than Nelson is. So let's talk about how we will defeat Nelson. Now, if you want to go right to the game, you can see the time down in the comments and go right to it. But first we should talk about his strengths and particularly his weaknesses and how you're going to beat him. Obviously, if you've played Nelson, you know this. He leads with a queen. Now, on his bio, it says Nelson knows that the queen is his most valuable piece. This is not really true. He attacks with the queen, but if you frustrate his attacks in the first couple of moves, he will sacrifice the queen. He'll trade it away pretty quickly, which obviously is a bad thing if that's the piece he's relying on. And this is a way you're going to beat him. You want to frustrate his initial attacks, his tricks with the queen, and then he'll be very willing to trade it off. And I mean, he's lost the piece that he depends on. I would say once Nelson loses his queen, the next thing he falls back on is usually the knights, because you can do a lot of tricks with knights, and this is what he's all about. So if you manage to trade queens with him, watch what he does with the knights. That's probably what he's going to try and do, and bring those down to your king. So he's one, if you can trade bishops for knights to get his knights out of there, it's probably worth it. But really, the basic way to defeat Nelson is to learn his different queen tricks. Now, it may seem like there's a lot, but there's really only so many things you can do with a queen out in front of all the other pieces. There's a reason people don't play that way. I mean, if that worked, that's what everyone would do. And so there are some nasty tricks, and if you're just playing him for the first couple of times, he frustrates you a lot. But the way to do it is play many games against him, new game, new game, new game, and you will quickly learn the different tricks he has with the queen. And this is how you beat him. You frustrate those, you chase his queen around, don't let him get set up, and then he gets very frustrated quickly, and he will trade off his queen. Okay? And that's what we're going to do here, and that's generally what works with him, usually. That can happen. All right, his weaknesses, obviously, like he said, he's got his queen out exposed in front of the other pieces, and there's a reason you don't do that. Also, he's going to neglect his other pieces because he's moving his queen around defensively, and particularly he tends to leave his rooks pinned in. And the rook, if you don't give it some space, it's vulnerable. And it's fairly easy to get one of Nelson's rooks early on in the game. And of course, if you get up by a rook, you pretty much have the game. And so that's a way to go after him. And the other thing, of course, is he's really focusing on offense, and he misses obvious vulnerabilities. Now, of course, Nelson is not a real person. He's a program, so I have to assume he's been programmed to not react to some obvious things, like the infamous fried liver attack, where the king and the rook are in a fork position. Again, not many bots are going to fall for that. Nelson will fall for that a lot. He will fall for a lot of these basic attacks because he's all focused on attacking you. So this is game one. We're going to play this one, and what we're going to do is threaten his queen and see what happens there. Hopefully, if we chase the queen around, he will make a mistake. He will move into a bad position. Or we also know, even if that doesn't happen, he starts to lose patience. He'll trade off the queen, and then I think we have a good chance against him. So, with that in mind, let's get right to the game and right to Nelson. Okay, here we go. We're going to play against Nelson. I'm going to start off with a nice Eve. He matches that, no problem. Bring out the knight. Okay, here he comes with the queen, as we would expect. I'll bring my other knight. No problem. Okay. Alright, so we could take this pawn. It is not covered, but we have to figure that's exactly what he wants us to do. But I don't see any harm, so take that. May help us. Okay, so now he's going to bring in the queen to threaten. That's not a problem because we can get right out of there. And we'll just go back where we were. We lost tempo, but we're up a pawn. We will see. Okay. Here he goes. Okay, and we have this pawn covered, so we're all right here. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to bring out this bishop, perhaps. We'll see what he does. Now, if you look, Nelson has got his queen and his rook skewered. They're on the same line. Okay, so he's moved his queen into a bad position. Let's see if he notices that. No, okay, he doesn't. He's looking to trade bishops, which is bad because he has missed the big vulnerability that he has, and so we can go for it. There's nothing to stop us. All right, so let's go. We're going to go after that rook, which he's got skewered with the queen. See, that's what happens when he moves his queen around, okay? Okay. So he's not even going to move either one of them. Okay. So we take his queen. And as he always says, that's why he wasn't supposed to bring it out, yeah. Or you should pay attention to where it is. Okay. So we traded a queen for a bishop. We're up by 6 points. And, I mean, that's really, at this point, we should be able to defeat him. Now, okay, his king and his rook are in a fork position. This is the classic fried liver fork, and my knight is one jump away from going right in and hitting that. You know, most bots don't fall for this, but this is one Nelson falls for a lot. So he didn't notice the skewer on his rook before. Let's see if he notices this one. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, that one he did notice, so he's castling to get out of the way. I thought we could sucker him a second time, but no. Okay, well, that's all right. All right, well, I can castle too. Get out of trouble. Let's see. Go up here as well. Bring the queen into it. Let's see how we want to exploit this the best. I'm going to bring up this pawn here. This will free up my other bishop. Okay, he's bringing his bishop out. Alright, so now that's not really doing much of anything. Okay. Yeah, now we'll castle. Alright, okay, he's offering to trade knights, which is, I mean, these bots love to trade, which of course doesn't make a lot of sense when you're behind. Trading helps the person who's ahead. So he's down by a queen, and making a trade is only going to magnify the extent of that, so why not? There's no reason not to. Okay, boom, we just traded knights. He's still got his rooks kind of bottled up. I mean, essentially, we just gotta get everything out of the way and go after him. He's got these out here. I can't really move my knight, so who am I gonna bring into this thing next? I'm kind of cramped. Yeah. Sure. Let's start to open this up. That's the side he's on, and now he's retreating to defend that king. Good. Let's get our stuff out in the open. Bring up this pawn as well. Why not? Ooh, okay. Get that bishop in here, but it's not really hitting anything. I mean, it's kind of stopping me from bringing that queen out, but I mean, he wants to come in, obviously, and hit my rook, but nah, okay. He wants to trade? We will trade. Let's see if he trades. No, he's not in the trade mode. Well, we'll trade. I mean, he didn't get it out of there, so, okay. Again, you know, he's letting these trades go on. Obviously, he wants to bring that knight down here, but there's nothing backing it up, so he's going to get hit. I mean, wherever he puts that knight, he's going to die. It's got no backup. Again, it doesn't make sense to be trading when you're as far behind as he is, but if he wants to trade, he can trade off everything but king. Alright, let me... Okay, I want to get this guy in here, and I can see he's trying to... boom. You have no protection. Okay, he didn't protect that knight. I mean, I did not expect that to stay there, but whatever. Okay. This guy's got no protection either. Oh, okay, he's got the bishop. Yeah, okay. Alright. Obviously, he's hitting my knight. I don't want that. I mean, okay. I mean, my pawn will die, but okay. No, he didn't take the pawn. Okay, so he's creating. Okay, he's got an open line for the rooks, but it's not doing him much good. I mean, we could trade off rooks as well. That's my dog in the background. Don't be offended. He coughs. It's allergy season for the dogs. Okay. Let's just advance these pawns, perhaps. Yeah. Why not? Okay. Oh, and now he takes it. Okay. So, okay, I'll move the queen out. Okay, so I'm going to trade again. I mean, trading does not help him at this point. Okay. He brings rook down. It doesn't matter because I can put him in check, so he has to move. And now, let's see. I could take that pawn, but that's not much of a gain. We could trade rooks because his rook is shielding the king. Either one of these. I mean, if he would have to take this trade. He's got no choice. But okay, that just, I mean, that helps me again. Let's advance this pawn. The pawn will be checking on the next move. Okay, and he can't take this because I'm covering it with the queen. Okay, so again, he's going to move out of check. Good. All right. I don't really need to promote this pawn. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay, he took that pawn. Now I can hit this one. Alright, obviously he's going to challenge. That's not a problem because I've got a queen. And he's got a rook. I can diagonal. I can check right now. Or I could... Yeah, okay. I will check him. And, okay, that gives the pawn another space. Okay, he's going to hide back there. Okay, we go one more space. Okay. Now we've got a 7th rank pawn that he's got to deal with. Now he could come here and trade his rook for this pawn. That would be nice. I would like that. If you don't, I'm going to promote it on my next move. Ooh, okay. Sure. Here you go. And basically that rook is dead because he let the pawn go too far. Not that we really needed it, but now we got 3 major pieces against his 1. Okay, so I mean, there's really nothing you can do except advance these pawns. Here, let's see if we can get rid of the last rook. Yep. Okay, I mean, so this game is basically over. Okay, so we could checkmate Nelson pretty easily at this point, but I think everyone would like some catharsis. Seems like we all want to see Nelson get a good whooping. I've certainly got some scores to settle with him, so rather than finish Nelson off quickly, let's take advantage of this situation. Okay, let's get rid of the rest of his pawns. Okay, so this one's dead. Boom. Alright. You know what? Let's promote another one. Because there's nothing he can do about it. He can't cross those 2 center lines. There's nothing he can do. Yeah, I mean, that's so we'll get another queen. Again, that's another danger. We don't want to accidentally stalemate him. Okay, so we've killed all of his pieces. Now we definitely don't want to back into a stalemate. That would be very ironic. Okay, how about we promote this guy? How many? I can get 3 queens. I mean, he can't. He can't get out of those 2 ranks. He's stuck there. Okay, so we can get. We're gonna get another queen. Okay, this is all, by the way, completely superfluous and unnecessary, and you know, pretty childish. But we're gonna do it. So if you've got a score to settle with Nelson, alrighty, okay. 3 queens and a rook against Nelson, and okay. He's checkmated in 2 moves. Is there there's really nothing more we can do to rub it in. So, boom, boom, and boom. And that's it. Okay, so we've won the game. And I think if we were to look at the analysis of this game, it's going to show that once he skewered his queen and rook, the game was over, and we knew that. Waiting for it to come. Yeah, I mean, you can see, you look at that analysis, and I mean, you can see it's just completely one-sided. There's that one blip, and then it's, I mean, the game was over. I mean, any normal, courteous player would have resigned at this point, but the bots don't resign. He kept going. But this just shows, this is, I mean, this is the way we play Nelson. Threaten that queen. He's thinking about offense. He's not thinking about defense. And you saw he had the queen and the rook skewered. You know, that's a mistake if you make it once. He made the mistake, but we couldn't take advantage of it on that move. But he still didn't see it, and he left it there, and actually it took me 2 moves to get in and exploit it, and I wasn't sure. I mean, in fact, I didn't think he would stay in that position and let that happen, but you see that he did. Why? Because he's not really focusing on defense, and this is kind of the way you get Nelson. Go after his queen, and you keep chasing the queen around, and eventually it's going to end up in a bad position. And that's what we did in this case. And then the rest of it was just trying to get a little revenge on this guy. But in the next couple of videos, we'll look at different ways to go after Nelson. We'll try not to exchange queens, or see how we can do it without taking his queen. But all right, that's Nelson. Thank you very much. Hope you'll stay tuned for the next one, and we'll play Nelson in some other way. Okay? Thanks.